Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rooney? Yes. Commissioner Borges?
here.
Commissioner Flores? Vice Chair Maciel?
Here.
Chair Muse?
Present. At this time, I'd like to open a public hearing for anyone wishing to speak on anything other than what's on the agenda item. If there is anyone wishing to come forward, you have 3 minutes. Seeing no interest. Oh,
Yeah, you, Victor. Come on down.
okay.
Not on.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Victor Vermontes, and I'm a management analyst in our Community Development Department. Amy thought today was a good opportunity for me to come down and introduce myself to you guys. My main focus in the department is economic development, which is working with our current business community and looking to promote the city to outside businesses for attraction. Because of that focus, I work very closely with Amy and her staff, her planning staff, quite a bit. I come down and introduce myself and look forward to working with any of you. And if you guys have any questions in relation to economic development, please let me know.
Thank you,
Okay.
and welcome aboard. At this moment, I'd like the records to show that Edith Flores is now present.
Present.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on anything other than on the agenda item?
Good evening, Ms. Harbin, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ramon Gamarra, and I am a resident of Baldwin Park for the last 34 years, and I live at 12826 Royston Street, which is exactly in front of the property that this construction is considering.
Sir?
It's something of great
Sir? You'll have an opportunity to speak on that agenda item when it comes up.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing no further interest, I now will close public hearing. And now turn it over to staff for our first presentation.
Chair, we actually have the consent calendar.
I apologize. Okay. First agenda item are the consent for the minutes, the approval of the minutes for April 27th. Are there any commissioners that wish to change or approve the agenda item?
I move to approve the minutes from April 27, 2016.
I second it.
I have a first and a second. Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 5-0. Next item, please.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, Commissioners, members of the audience, before you is a request for a conditional use permit for a warehouse use within the industrial plan development zone. The proposed warehouse is located on Spring Street. It's part of a larger 12-building industrial complex and is currently occupied by Fanda Enterprises. Fanda Enterprises specializes in smaller promotional items that are, like they have their logos and stuff on them, such as pens, keychains, and water bottles. There are 15 parking stalls, which, if I knew how this thing worked, the green button and that button. Oh, look there. There are 15 parking stalls on the site, including a handicap stall. And there's also a small loading zone space down towards this end down here. As you can see, this is off of Spring Street. There's an easement right here, which has Little John over here, which goes up north to Brooks Drive and Rivergrade, or south to Los Angeles Street and Lower Azusa Road. Fanda receives orders and ships items out only once a day, typically via UPS. They receive deliveries approximately 2 times a month and employ about 3 to 4 people, 4 people during their busy season. So their hours of operation are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So at this time, staff is recommending the Planning Commission open the public hearing and, following the public hearing, adopt Resolution PC 16-08, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a conditional use permit to allow the use and operation of a warehouse use within an existing building within the Industrial Plan Development Zone pursuant to Table 153.050.020 in the City's Municipal Code. The location is 13180 Spring Street. The applicant is Zefeng Lin, and the case number is CP 835. And this concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Amy.
That's it.
At this moment, do any of the commissioners have any questions for Amy? Seeing none, at this moment, I will now open public communication on this agenda item. Anyone wishing to speak on this agenda item, please come forward. And if you do, you have 3 minutes. Seeing no interest, I now close public hearing. And again, I now open it up to the commissioners. Again, if you have any questions pertaining to this agenda item. Seeing none, I now will take a motion.
A motion to move this forward.
I have a first.
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 5-0.
PC 16-08.
Yes. Next agenda item.
Honorable Chair, Commissioners, members of the audience, the request before you is a request for consideration to subdivide 1 lot into 5 lots for condominium purposes within the RG Residential Garden Zone for the construction of 2 buildings with 2 condominiums each, and 1 common lot pursuant to Table 152.10 in the City's Municipal Code. The location is 3913 Stewart Avenue. The applicant is Jose Moreno, Katrina Design Group. The case number TM74185. The applicant is requesting a tentative tract map to subdivide 1 lot into 5 to construct 2 buildings, basically 2 duplexes for condominium purposes. Each one will have 2 condominiums and also a common lot. The property, as you see in the vicinity map, is zoned RG and is surrounded by other RG zones, zoned lots, and a C2 zone property to the north. Each condominium unit is 3 bedrooms. We're proposed to have 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. It will consist of 1,468 square feet of living area. A 2-car garage will also be incorporated into each of the units. The 5th lot being created is for common use and includes the main driveway that provides access to each of the units as well as the guest parking at the rear of the project. This one's probably a little bit more clearer. And if you can see, this is this is 2 units here, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, common driveway, open space area here, and then the guest parking back here. There's also additional landscape area in the back here with the parking. The design of the project has been reviewed and tentatively approved by the City's Design Review Committee, pending approval of the subdivision map. Therefore, the request before you, before the Planning Commission this evening, is only to subdivide the lot into 5 lots for condominium purposes. Staff has reviewed the application and has determined that with the added conditions of approval, the tentative tract map to subdivide 1 lot into 5 lots for condominium purposes meets the development standards of the zoning code and is in accordance with the goals and policies of the general plan. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PC 1609, entitled A Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact, approving a tentative tract map subdividing 1 lot into 5 lots within the RG Residential Garden Zone for the construction of 2 buildings with 2 condominiums each and 1 common lot, pursuant to Table 152.10 in the city's municipal code, the location 3913 Stewart Avenue, the applicant Jose Moreno, Katrina Design Group, case number TM 74185. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, staff. At this moment, I will now, first of all, ask any commissioners, do they have any questions of staff in pertaining to this agenda item?
I have a question. My name is Edith. Hello. How many bedrooms does each condo have?
Each unit will consist of 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths.
And how many parkings you said?
Each unit will have its own 2-car garage, and there will be additional guest parking at the rear, 4 spaces of guest parking.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Seeing none at this moment, I will now open up to the public hearing on this agenda item. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please step forward. Seeing no interest, I now close public hearing. Again, do any of the commissioners have any more questions pertaining to this agenda item for staff? Seeing none, now we'll accept motions.
A motion to move forward.
I second that.
I have a first and a second. Do I have any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 5-0. That's PC 1609.
1609.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next item, please.
Good evening, Honorable Chair, Commissioners, and members of the audience. The request before you is a request for consideration of a tentative tract map to subdivide 1 lot into 8 lots for the development of 8 detached single-family residential homes within the R1 single-family residential zone. The address is 3540 Barnes Avenue. The applicant is LB Construction, and the case number is TM 73992. The applicant, LB Construction, is requesting a tentative tract map to subdivide 1 lot into 8 lots to develop 8 single-family detached dwelling units within the single-family residential zone. And the surrounding uses are also zoned R1 for single-family residential. There is currently a 1,440 square foot dwelling unit on the property. The lots being created will have approximately 5,000 square feet, which is in accordance with the city's development standards for the R1 zone, single-family residential zone, and also has consistent general plan land use designation. Staff has reviewed the tentative tract map, including plan review for design review, and a request for comments and conditions was sent out to different utility companies. The comments received from the responding entities have been addressed in the findings as conditions of approval for the tentative tract map. Staff has determined that adequate utility systems, water distribution, sewer, storm drain, and street are of crucial importance when completing a subdivision for land, and therefore this subdivision shall be in accordance with these standards. This site plan indicates the applicant submitted plans to propose 8 two-story single-family dwelling units with a 2-car garage on each parcel, as seen here, for design review on December of last year, and it was tentatively approved on February of this year. As a result, staff has included a condition of approval that any proposed structure shall be developed in compliance with the current development standards of the zoning code, and that is in accordance also with the goals and policies of the city's general plan. In addition, as a condition for Public Works, the applicant will dedicate 25 feet fronting Royston to widen the street to a total of 50 feet. So this is going to be a total of 50 feet. And this is just a shot from the corner of Barnes Avenue and Royston Street, just to indicate the existing 25-foot wide street. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt open public hearing and adopt resolution PC 1610 entitled A Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a tentative tract map subdividing 1 lot into 8 lots in the R1 zone pursuant to table 152.10 in the city's municipal code. Location is 3540 Barnes Avenue. Applicant LB Construction, case number TM 73992. This concludes staff presentation.
Thank you very much. At this moment, do any of the commissioners have any questions to staff? Seeing none, I'll now open public hearing for this agenda. Anyone wishing to speak, please step forward and state your name, and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Jose Tario. I am a resident of Baldwin Park. I live on Royston Street, across the street from this property. I'm fairly new to this process. This is my first time here. I only have a few questions that I have to ask. I don't know at what times they will designate times for construction of this property, if it's going to happen at a certain time, and does that get voted on? Also, will there be street closures? I saw that they're going to be adding to the street. Also have a question about any dust and cleanup of dust that's produced from the construction that may end up on the homes on the other side of the street. Also, if there are any considerations for the noise that will be caused by the construction. Also, what will the configuration be? We've seen that, never mind. What direction? Nope. Are there any landscaping requirements for the properties? And being that there are one, these homes will be for sale and not for rental, right? Sorry. Those are all my questions.
Okay.
I have one more question, I'm sorry. And on the street, that they're going to be adding 25 feet. Will they be repaving the other side of the street, or will just one side be paved? Will be new paving? So will the whole street be new? Question.
You're waiting for a response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
this gives this is a point at which you get an opportunity to ask those questions, and at the conclusion, when public hearing is over, we'll be able to ask some of those questions to our staff.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. As I introduce myself earlier, I am a resident of the Royston Street, in front of the lot that is considered for construction of these houses. When I did move to Baldwin Park in 1981, actually I bought my home over there that was built in 1980. The original owner of the lot, I was interested in buying that lot. at that time with some partners. And we had conversations with the original owner of the property. At that time, he became a very good neighbor and friend of ours. And he told me the following: I want you to consider very carefully with the City of Baldwin Park, the Planning Commission, because I had also the idea of building some condominiums here. He was keeping that lot extremely well, and every year he worked for weeks removing all the debris of the property and so on. Later, when his wife died, and then he died also, and the inheritors told me, well, we are considering selling the property, but we have a lot of considerations with the Planning Commission. Well, the main consideration that he told me at that time, which is something I am interested at this moment, is that street of Royston is only half with the width of the street. And he told me the City of Baldwin Park requests, obviously, that the street will be opened up at the same width of the Royston Street in the west side of Barnes. This is in the east side of Barnes. And so we are going to lose right here the amount of half of the width of the street, which is maybe only 15 feet now, so we don't have enough space to move. Now, during all these years, 34 years, nothing happened, and I know that the lot was on sale for a long time, and finally now this company is going to, I imagine they bought it already, and they are going to build
Sir,
this.
your 3 minutes are up.
I'm sorry?
Your 3 minutes are up. Your 3 minutes are up.
Okay. So my concern that I want to know is the City of Baldwin Park is still are considering and made the width of the street as supposed to be. They say because it now only half. See, originally all this area was...
Sir, your 3 minutes are up.
You only have 3 minutes to bring forth your concerns. Okay, and your 3 minutes are up. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this agenda item? Seeing no further interest, I will now close public hearing and again open up the questions if there's any concerns with from the commissioners to staff.
I have a question. Mm-hmm. On the expansion of the street, would that also include people being able to park on that street once it's widened?
Yes, and it also includes sidewalk too on the north side. Yes.
Thank you.
So basically the street will be wide enough again for emergency vehicles and everything.
Correct.
Okay. So that'll be additional 25 feet? Is that what it?
No, the street actually needs to be the regular city width street, which is 50 feet.
Okay. Any other questions?
That should answer his concerns, correct?
Yeah, so did that answer your concern?
They're gonna make the street 50 feet.
How wide?
50 feet. 50 feet.
Oh, that would be perfect. Yes.
50 feet.
But the traffic is going to increase at least 200%. And we have space for accommodating that traffic.
Yeah,
Also,
understood.
Pedestrian, all walking there.
Understood. Yeah. That's a requirement of this in order for them to be able to build. They have to widen the street. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now, sir, there are other concerns in regards to the dust and the construction that will probably have to be taken up with the construction companies. But at this point, we wouldn't have any say-so in that regard.
The time of construction is actually governed by our code. If you give my associate planner your card, I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but it's governed by our code, our municipal code. If you give him your business card or your email address, I can email you that information.
Are there any more concerns or questions by the commissioners?
I had just one concern in regards to this. Parallel to the property across the street are 6 homes. And on this particular agenda item, we're going to put 8 homes. I think it's a little bit excessive to put 8 homes. Kind of like squeezing them in a lot.
It's a code requirement.
Okay. All right.
5,000 square feet.
Okay. At this point, if there's no further questions, I will now accept a motion.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Thank you, Chair. The next item on the agenda is reports of officers, and that's the Planning Division's monthly report for April and May that I've provided you. If you have any questions about any of the reports we give you about the work we do in the Planning Department, please let me know.
I don't think so. Next.
I'll just keep moving on. The next item is staff and commission communications. The first item is a verbal update on the Vineland Residential Care Facility, 3562 through 3576 Vineland Avenue. The applicant did submit their conditional use permit application and their parcel map application to consolidate 2 lots into 1 lot. Those applications, specifically the parcel map, has been cleared by the fire department for public hearing, so that item will be coming to the Planning Commission at the next Planning Commission meeting in July. The next item on the agenda is a verbal update on the proposed Irwindale Materials Recovery Facility and Transfer Station located at 2200 Arrow Highway. The city of Irwindale, on May, I think 8th or 20th or somewhere in May, the City Council of Irwindale actually approved and adopted the environmental impact report and the development and disposition agreement for that project. At the City Council meeting on Monday, the City Council authorized staff to have the attorney firm move forward with a lawsuit. So we will be filing that against the city of Irwindale for that project. And that's all I have at this time.
Well, thank you very much. At this point, are there anything that the commissioners have in closing?
I just like to say I was at that meeting and they just totally ignored a packet that the Baldwin Park lawyer gave them. They didn't even look at it. He asked them to postpone their vote and at least look at their objections. They didn't even look at it. They just pushed it and voted. So that shows how concerned they are with everybody else, and that's why we're going forward with the lawsuit.
Thank you for your update. Anything else, guys? All right, seeing none, I will now take a motion for adjournment.
I second.
Well, I guess I firsted. Any objections? Seeing none, meeting's over. Thank you very much.